to the real thing that they could easily be mistaken for it. It comes from the Latin word verisimilitudo, which means likeness to the truth. A synonym for verisimilitude would be truth-likeness. Let's try it out in a sentence. When my friend answers his phone, he says, "Fellow Ghanaians," with so much verisimilitude that for a moment you'd be convinced you just got through to the president. There you are then, another new word for your vocabulary. At this rate, you will soon be able to sit in for the Queen of England with enough verisimilitude.
Fred Smith, you doubt you will ever use this word?
I doubt.
Oh,
We want you to teach
Because
us. Where
at
would
no
we
point
use it?
in time would he be asked to sit in for the Queen anyway.
so you can say that following the president's announcement, the state of COVID awareness in Ghana bears verisimilitude to what it was before COVID was invented.
I see.
Or discovered, or whatever COVID was done. Whether it was invented,
What
discovered,
will be your audience?
accidentally created. You mean who am I using that word to?
Exactly.
Discerning listeners like you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you for the word.
You're ever so welcome. All right then. Just before we get into the headlines, let's quickly recap what the president had to say last night.
As from tomorrow, Monday, the 28th March, all land and sea borders will be opened. Fully vaccinated travelers will be allowed entry through the land and sea borders without a negative PCR test result from the country of origin. Citizens and foreign residents in Ghana who are not fully vaccinated will have to produce a negative 48-hour PCR test result and will be offered vaccination on arrival. From tomorrow, Monday, 28th March, the wearing of face masks is no longer mandatory.
Okay, so a number of sweeping changes. Land borders are open after 2 years. Now, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to do an antigen test at the airport. And it is no longer mandatory to wear a mask. Okay, Fred, I mean, you of course head our health desk. Talk to us. What's the science? What do you reckon is the science behind the easing of these restrictions, particularly the mandatory mask wearing?
Well, the president, as we were told last week, has been engaging some professional groups, namely the Ghana Medical Association, Ghana Registered Nurse Midwives, the health professionals, to try and understand what the situation is, whether it's safe to ease these restrictions. And I think from the numbers, it appears we are very safe, 71 active cases as we speak, and within the week, majority of that will recover, which will bring the cases down to zero. We have no one in our hospital, whether severe or critically ill, needing a ventilator. All those ventilators and things we bought are there. They are idle now. Our hospitals are free. There's no pressure on our healthcare facilities because of COVID. And so it appears to be safe. If I look at the cases as the Ghana Health Service is reporting, I see most of our cases, since the last 2 weeks or so, coming in from abroad. So international travelers are the ones who are recording most of our cases. Locally, our cases have gone down, and at the last check, 24th of March, we had only 2 cases in Accra. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
only 2 in Accra. The challenge for me has been the Volta region in the last week. We are recording some spikes, especially North Tongue. I've been thinking about it. What could be the reason why that location is becoming a new hotspot? But I think that the health professionals would have taken all that into consideration, and also to increase vaccination in those areas. You recall that at some point, some vaccines that were sent to the Volta region were rejected. They went, they expired and had to be, discarded. And so from the numbers, it appears that we are very safe, and that could be the science behind what the president has decided. And
Yeah,
we
the
have to
numbers
live with it.
look good. I agree. I suppose the other thing is something you said, that look, most of our cases historically tend to come from abroad.
Yeah.
And being vaccinated doesn't mean you can't be infected.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you can't infect others.
You can.
But now, if you're vaccinated, there's nothing to isolate you or keep you out of Ghanaian society if you're coming in from abroad.
Yeah.
You're going to come in straight just because you were vaccinated at some point in your life against COVID.
Indeed.
Okay, so I wonder whether we are creating a loophole through which we might see things slip.
Yes, and if you recall, around April, in fact, for the 2 years that we've had COVID, around April we always get a new wave.
After Easter.
Okay, around Easter or just after Easter. And so as we approach Easter, I would have thought that we hold on with the restrictions until maybe Easter is over, and then we'll be able to tell. A lot of people will be coming into Ghana, and those who have vaccinated can still have the virus and spread. As we're having in Shanghai as we speak, there's total lockdown in Shanghai because a lot of people are recording cases, and these are people who are vaccinated already, and most of them even had booster jabs and so on. And so it does not mean that we are safe as we speak. So we need to increase our vaccination, where we've done only 13 million, only 5 million fully vaccinated in Ghana.
I checked up the other countries that are in our status, those who do not have mask mandates specifically. US, UAE, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, England. Now, we are nowhere near vaccination when it comes to any of these countries.
Yes.
They are all over 70% and more. So I was trying to get the correlation between the status of your vaccination, because right from the beginning we're told that when you get to herd immunity, that's when you can actually remove the mask. But maybe the science has changed. Maybe we are being informed by far more superior reasoning in this case, and that argument no longer pertains to our current situation.
We'll be digging into this a lot more during the show, but already interesting questions and points being raised here. So yeah, more to learn. But first, let's learn what's in the papers.
I'll start with the Daily Guide newspaper. On the front page, Opariansa declares secretary bid on COVID-19. Just as we've been highlighting, Akufo-Addo opens borders, no nose mask testing at KIA, as in no nose mask, also no testing at KIA. Dr. Ekuyamoa Boateng writes on renewable energy, free SHS, TVET postings out, and don't touch our salaries. This is one NDC member of parliament who is making her position known, and this has to do with the cuts that the executive has made. There's a story on page 4 about Mahama meeting Asantehene at Menchia. And then this story about Opariansa, that's former member of parliament for Suhum, Frederick Opariansa. He's declared his bid to run for the general secretary of the NPP. He declared his intention at the Akroma Plaza Hotel in Takoradi over the weekend. There's also the Ekapim North Constituency youth organizer of the NPP, Kwejo Owusu-Afriye, alias IGP, who's been suspended by the party for making unfounded allegations against the president and the national chairman of the party. Details there in the paper today. If you look at the back page, story says Kumasi was virtually turned into a ghost city after the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria played a goalless game on Friday evening. We've got a second leg tomorrow, don't we? Yeah. Okay, so I think those are the stories that I'm highlighting. Well, just one more. Burna Boy has bragged about being the highest paid musician on the African continent. He says, believe it or not. And then there's also Black Sherry's performance with Epic Rain, making huge headlines, people talking about it. Yeah.
Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning. Minerals Fund must provide economic livelihood for mining communities. That's the Chamber of Mines. Free TVET takes off, and placement is already out there. And the COVID updates, the biggest story on the front page. There's one about Otuado saying that we will do it in Nigeria. So, I mean, you should be rest assured that things will go well. Those are the stories in the Daily Graphic.
Well, I have the finder here. It says President lifts COVID-19 restrictions. Dr. Kwame Boateng makes compelling case for financing renewable energy projects. Free SHS, 367,811 get placement. 187,542 to do self-placement. That's according to the Education Ministry. And the other story here, Sino-Hydro routes on display as Dr. Bawumia cuts short for additional 100-kilometer stretch. The sports column, they have the 2022 World Cup playoff. I don't see them as favorites. Ghana coach Otuado ahead of second leg, and Ghana is playing Nigeria tomorrow in the second leg.
Yeah.
That will be where in Abuja, I believe. Yeah.
Now, the Daily Statesman is reporting this morning, Apia's reconstruction project takes off in April, and then there is also the president talking about borders open, and there's one more about face mask being optional. That's why Mama V is still wearing the face mask.
I am. The fact that the president says is no longer mandatory.
It is
It
is unrelated to your Kojo's problem with your forehead.
I was conflicted though.
Yeah.
I had the mask in my pocket for a very long time, and I was thinking, should I still wear it?
You
But
feel
I
that-
decided in the end, after talking to Fred, that I'm going to wear it.
Yes, and I want to share
That
this.
Fred is not wearing it.
I want to share this because it's good. I mean, we can learn from it. I
Yes.
spent some time in the UAE in the early part of this month, and at the time they had lifted the restrictions on mask wearing, but almost everyone was still wearing it, and they have their cases seriously under control. So we can learn from that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the Ghanaian Times newspaper. On the front page of the Times, 2021 school placement, government rolls out free TVETs this year. Qualified candidates to enjoy all benefits under free senior high school initiative. 4 young Ghanaian business leaders grab awards at 40 Under 40 Africa Awards. Redevelopment of Songo Salt projects, win-win for all, according to a Deputy Minister, Miriku Duka. ECOWAS threatens Burkina Faso with financial economic sanctions. Details there in the paper. And then, of course, on the back page, the Stars will shine over Super Eagles. That's according to our interim coach.
Okay. Now, the Chronicles, the last paper, have said, go for insurance. Your children are not your retirement cocoa farm. This according to the SNIT boss. And there's one more. Okay, so before I do that, let me just go to the 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. This is rule of law at work. Where is the money? Bring it. Court orders Western chief to vomit stool land compensation paid into her private account. And it's a very prayerful chief on the from Queen Mother, yes, on the front page of the Chronicle.
What's the verse again?
It says that for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. So, because the court said, I mean, it's in your account, so
Bring it.
yeah. Now, no, there's one more. Agenda 111 to cost 1.7 billion US dollars. That is what the president of the Republic of Ghana is saying. You know, it's interesting how it moved from somewhere in June 2020. We will finish it in 1 year, 88. Then July 2021, we start saying we will finish it in 18 months. Then in March of 2022,
Before I leave office.
before I leave office. It's a very interesting chronology. It almost reminds me of Accra being the cleanest city in Africa.
the same thing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we need 1.7 billion US dollars.
Yeah. We will
For
raise the
that.
money. We will do it. It's huge infrastructure. We need to do it.
Well, the Business and Financial Times, reimposition of capital gains tax affecting equities market. That's according to the Bank of Ghana. The market responding favorably to recent monetary fiscal measures and we have seen the cedi strengthen against the dollar in parts of the country. And it's time to rethink development and utilization of renewable energy. That's Francis Ekwamo Boateng. New expenditure cut measures, good signal for investors. That's according to some economists. The Business and Financial Times has been speaking to automation of premix fuel to increase price by 38%. Wow.
All right, let's do the online review. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and GOIL, Good Energy.
Now, GOIL, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life ever so convenient. GOIL now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases at key selected stations. Just remember to memo it at GOIL. That's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at GOIL, and this is made possible by APSA. So drive to GOIL stations now, buy your fuel, pay by Momo or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit GOIL social media platforms, Facebook, GOIL.official. Instagram is GOIL_GH, and Twitter, GOIL_official. For more information on the service stations, you can conveniently use Momo. GOIL, good energy, GOIL. Yeah, dear.
Okay, then, have you updated your records at Zenith Bank with your Ghana card yet? With effect from July 1, 2022, the Ghana card will be the only form of ID that will be accepted by Zenith Bank Ghana Limited for all banking transactions in person and online. Just visit any Zenith Bank branch across the country today with a valid copy of your Ghana card to update your records. It's quick, it's seamless, it's Zenith Bank in your best interest. So on myjoyonline.com this morning, wearing a face mask not mandatory from today. That's the president saying that, and it's our top story. Let's see what's on citynewsroom.com. Government cancels compulsory PCR testing at KIA for fully vaccinated persons. And on BBC this morning, Ukraine ready to discuss neutral status, according to Zelensky. And I suppose this would be music to Putin's ears. But guess what? The biggest story on the internet today, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. Why? When we come back. Right now, it's time for the BBC News.
It's brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Hey, Evokoku, what brings you to my house this early morning? I hope all is well.
All is never well with me, Nick Bakbo. After paying 3 times for the land for my project, the construction workers are now giving me wahala. From material overestimation to small stealing. I am tired.
I told you so, Evokoku.
It's all because you are trying to become builders when you're corporate workers and business people. Edlum has products tailored to meet your needs. Villas 3 at Amrahia, where there are finished homes, Conveniente, also at Amrahia, where it's contemporary but super affordable apartments. Prices start from $35,000. And the Avant-Garde, located in Adjurigano, which has sleek luxury apartments. For more information, please visit edlumhousing.com or simply call 0270-166-166. Edlum Housing, where spacious homes cost less.
Jack, you know my boss owns a fleet of commercial cars and he drives only brand new vehicles. Latest. Before he hired me, this is what he said. Krachi, my vehicles are my investment. It is a winning, now winning, and you buy any fuel apart from GOIL. Waboka, sign this undertaking.
But he was right?
Yes, and he's right. GOIL stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco